Hello there guys, it's me, the confused Ninja Nick 333, back yet again with apparently this round Nathaniel Dow versus Xander Perot is happening again. That's like the third thing that I've seen wrong on the stream so far, or fourth. That's the third or fourth thing that I've seen on stream that's like completely incorrect. This was the previous round's match, and you can't really see it here, but it does say round 9 key matches. So yeah, this is the stream match. I did look a little ahead. This is the stream match that they're playing right now, and it is round 9, but this one here is previous round. So just want to point that out to anybody who's not paying attention. So we are going to get into that right now. I'm curious to see. I didn't see what the deck matchup was. Oh man, here we go. Oh, actually I do know what Jeremy's playing. Yeah, so Jeremy's playing Eternatus VMAX, I think. That trash deck that I trashed on earlier in the tournament when I saw that it was at like the 5th most played deck or something. And on this other side we see an Aurora Energy and an Illuminion, so I'm going to assume that this is another Lugia deck. I'm pretty sure we saw Lugia in the last like 3 matches now. So that's cool. I mean, hey, I'm all for Lugia. I love watching Lugia, but damn, that's a lot in a row. They did avoid it in the early rounds. I'll give them credit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jeremy's playing Eternatus VMAX. But I did see the Crobat VMAX, which makes me question all of reality. Yep, Eternatus VMAX. He starts the Eternatus. They're at 5-2-1 right now. Absolutely amazing. I can't believe that there's a Eternatus at 5-2-1. I mean, Jeremy's a pretty decent player. Don't get me wrong, but deck's not. Not in my opinion, at least. I wish it was good, dude. I love dark Pokemon, okay? I love dark decks. We have to reshuffle the playlist here. This is the last round of day 1. And it's currently 2 a.m. when I'm recording this, so will I go to bed after this? Who knows? We do see the Switch. Oh, that's my favorite art of Switch, too. The Heart Gold Soul Silver one. It's got Meryl on it, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. It's not my favorite Pokemon, but it's one of them. It's my favorite, like, cute Pokemon, if you know what I mean. Like, my actual favorites are, like, Greninja and Darkrai. Because I'm pretty basic. But yeah, so we see the Lugia V start from Oliver. We're getting the Evo Incense. He's going to be checking his deck, looks like very slowly. Oh, he's speeding up, okay. He's probably just going to get the Archeops and discard it. That's usually what this deck does turn 1. Jeremy didn't do too much after switching into that, Coughing. On the next turn, he can Ascension the Coughing into the, Weezing, which would shut off abilities. So, if Oliver doesn't have, like, a boss's orders or something, that could delay the, summoning star from the Lugia VStar. So that could come into play. So let's see. We got the Archeops. We're going to discard it with the Quick Ball. Looks like Oliver is a max rarity type of person, so as we all know, max rarity does make you max powerful. No, it doesn't. Whenever I see somebody, whenever I'm playing against somebody and they have like a max rarity deck, like all secret rares and full arts and stuff, especially if there's like any singular alternate art in their deck, I immediately think they're a worse player. It's a bad, what's the word I'm looking for? I stereotype those people. That's not the word I was looking for, but, like, obviously it's not true. There are good players that just play max rarity, but a majority of the players that I know that are really good play, like, as many non-holos as possible. Like, my group, we go out of our way to get non-holos. Like, Like, I have the regular Archeopses that are holo rares, but there is a pre-release, the pre-release kits have non-holo Archeopses in them. So you can get the pre-release promo one, which is a holo alt art one, which is cool. But yeah, and it looks like he doesn't have those. Those are the max rarity Archeops. What are you doing, bud? That one that you just played doesn't even look holo. The other one was reverse holo. What are you doing? Just joking around. Also, that Oranguru is not full art or secret rare. That bothers me as well. So he's not playing enough max rarity, in my opinion. We do see the research. That may be a full art research, but that's the cheapest full art research that exists. It's less than $1 because it's so common to get. But anyway, I digress. Let me get off of the subject of the rarities, even though I can't stop talking about it. There is a guy that's like somewhat a local area guy that like keeps winning win-a-box tournaments or like getting second, and he plays like max rarity Lugia, and he's good. He's pretty decent. So I got to get off my stereotypes about max rarity. Heck, I used to play max rarity Darkrai, but that's just because I love that deck. Anyway, capture energy comes down. We've got Oranguru and the Lugia that was just gotten off the capture energy. We're going to see Read the Wind discarding another Archeops. So there are at least 2 Archeops in the discard pile. I think there's 3, actually. But yeah, Read the Wind is perfectly fine there. You know that Jeremy's just going to go into either an Ascension for the Galarian Weezing or evolve into it, and it looks like he does. Also, that is the Pop Pack promo. So that's cool. That's probably worth a ridiculous amount of money for no reason. All of the promos from the new promo set are ridiculously expensive because it's so hard to get the packs, even though every locals has 200 of them, and they just won't give them out. I have 2 packs of it so far. I'm keeping them sealed. There is a league I might go to on Wednesday nights that will give you the packs when you show up, so I might just go just to get the packs, honestly. So we see there's now 3 Eternatus V in play and a Crobat, and like not much else, so it just goes for the Severe Poison or whatever it's called. It's a poison that does 4 damage counters per turn instead of 1. Yeah, it is Severe Poison. Yeah, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Put 4 damage counters instead of 1 on that Pokemon during Pokemon checkup. So yeah, that's cool. So if you were to, say, use that Garbodor from the earlier rounds, it's very important to note this. If you do an effect that would poison this Pokemon, the old poison condition is healed, and it applies a new poison condition. So it would heal the severe poison that does 4 damage counters, and it would re-poison it with a new one that only does 1. So if you were playing this with that Garbodor, like, they would de-synergize, essentially. So. And technically, if he severe poisons again, like, say a Pokemon's normal poisoned, and then he severe poisons, it removes the original 1 damage counter per turn poison, and applies the 4 damage counter per turn poison. A very interesting situation that almost never comes up. We do see that the Lugia goes to the bench. Because of the boss's orders, and the new one is now poisoned. So I think he's just softening up these Lugias for the Eternatus to take easier knockouts. Eternatus is very interesting to where it can have up to 8 Pokemon on the bench, as long as all of the Pokemon in play are Dark type. So we're going to Serena bring up a Eternatus, it looks like. That removes the ability that allows you to, or disallows you from using your Lugia VStar power. Looks like the Oranguru is just going to get a Stoutland off the top of the deck. That's not very good in this matchup. And just immediately discarding that. Also, though, the full art Stoutland looks pretty dope. It was like $1 difference in price, and that is why I didn't buy it when I bought my Stoutlands. I was a little upset. And we see the Lugia VStar come down. Also, evolving heals that poison, so it's no longer severe poisoned. So, gets the double Archeops out now. And see, this is why I say that, this Eternatus deck is bad, right? So it's specifically designed to counter Lugia, because it has the Temple, and it has the Galarian Weezing to shut off abilities, right? So the Temple shuts off the energies, turns them all single colorless. All special energies become single colorless with no effect. So all the powerful colorless don't give you any boosted damage. The V-Guard doesn't guard you. But what you do here is you just put 4 energy of any kind on the Lugia, and it still fulfills its attack cost, and it still does 220. So you still one-shot an Eternatus V. So, like, what good is hard countering Lugia if you don't even hard counter Lugia with your hard counter? We're also seeing, it looks like another capture and a powerful colorless. The Eternatus does have 220, I believe, so you are one-shotting it anyway. But I think you're just, also the Lugia discards the Stadium card in play. So, it's going to attack for the 4 colorless, and the V-Guard and powerful colorless energy are currently not applying to the Lugia. So it's still doing just 220, and it doesn't take any reduced damage. But then you discard the Stadium in play, and all of your energies become live again. So I don't know how Temple of Sinnoh is supposed to counter this deck. I don't know how the Galarian Weezing is supposed to counter this deck when you play Boss and Serena in the deck. I gotta stop rambling about it. I'm just glad to see Eternatus is, like, somewhat doing well again, because I did want that deck to be good. It came out. I really wanted to play it, but it came out when I was taking a break from Pokemon. My break unintentionally coincided with COVID. So I missed all of the very early Sword and Shield, but also I missed all the bad formats where Ultra Ball wasn't there. Like, I came back when Ultra Ball was reprinted, so... Like, I didn't play without Ultra Ball, which was pretty sweet. Yeah, I came back just before Brilliant... Well, like, Brilliant Stars, like, released, like, the week after I came back. Or the week I came back, something like that. I know it wasn't legal for at least 2 weeks before, once I started playing again. We see the Crobat come down again. This deck can play a lot of Crobats, as you can see. That's the 3rd Crobat on the bench, which is kind of scary because that is a very low HP bench sitter at only 180 HP. And that is trying to draw into maybe an Eternatus VMAX. That would boost its HP a lot and could potentially one-shot this Lugia. Especially since it's softened up now, it only has 240 HP remaining. We do see a Choice Belt as well. I don't remember exactly what the damage output on the Eternatus VMAX is. I think it's 30 times the amount of your Darkness Pokemon in play or something like that. 6, 9, 15. I mean, if he fills his bench and gets the Eternatus VMAX, it's definitely a one-shot no matter what. So there's the VMAX coming out. I really like the new arts for both of these as well. We see the Galarian Moltres V come out as well. That's going to be able to accelerate dark energies to itself. So we see 6 Pokemon on the bench now. Oh, and there's also the V-Guard energy as well that he has to take into account. So that counteracts the Choice Belt, essentially. So they're counting up the damage. Jeremy's gonna essentially overbench, and you're not gonna see them all on stream. There's a Zigzagoon. Yeah, so what I like to do whenever I was playing Skyfield decks, in Standard, when that was Standard, and in Expanded, so I keep the same 5 Pokemon on my bench, but I essentially make a second 3 Pokemon bench on the bottom. So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then I would have 1, 2, 3 here. And that's how I would fit everything comfortably. And then if the effect of the Skyfield left play, then I would usually keep the 3 Pokemon, because it doesn't matter. Like, this isn't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the columns matter. It doesn't matter where your bench Pokemon are, so you can essentially move them around however you want, and nobody's going to call you on it. So usually, if the ability or the stadium went out of play that gave me extra bench, I would put the 3 that I would discard to the discard pile, I would put them on the bottom, so that then if they did remove my Skyfield, I would just scoop those all up, and then I just have my regular 5 Pokemon on my bench still. So not only did it make it look cleaner, fit better, but it was also more convenient to discard all my Pokemon when my Skyfield inevitably left play. So like right now, if I were him, I would have the 3 Crobats down here, and then I would have the rest just in these 5 slots here. So not only would the stream see it better, but it's just like a minor nitpick that I have. I don't like it when people like have this gigantic wide bench like this. Like, it's not PTCGO where it just automatically extends the play area. Like, the camera isn't going to extend up to here now, right? So just put it where people can see it. Make it easier on everybody. Make it easier on yourself. Keep all those Crobats on the bottom so that then you can discard them if somehow your ability leaves play. But anyway, we get the Evital bench down, and then we get a whole bunch of energy loaded up onto it with the 2 Archeops. He does need to attach for a turn from hand in order to retreat this. Oh no, he has the Bird Keeper, so that's perfect. So he Bird Keepers into the Evital, and he's going to be able to one-shot this Eternatus and take 3 prize cards, going down to 1 remaining. So all he needs to do is knock out a Weezing or a Zigzagoon even, and then he wins the game. So that's perfect. It's a little unfortunate. So what he's going to have to do now is he's going to have to... Oh yeah, he gets the Lugia VStar. Okay. So if he gets double turbo onto that... Yeah, Jeremy knows that he's lost the game at this point. So... Yeah, so that's the thing, is like, Eternatus is like built to hard counter Lugia, but it still has Evital, it still discards your stadiums, and it still plays Boss's Orders in Serena. So all of your things that counter it just don't do anything. And that makes Eternatus very unfortunate. Because if you're playing something that hard counters, you want it to actually hard counter. And it doesn't even hard counter Mew, because they just one-shot all your benched Crobats without even having to play a power tablet. Yeah, Jeremy's looking at the clock. See, he's paying attention. He knows. So let's look at the prize cards for game 2. And I just barely missed it. Oops. Alright, we got Temple of Sinnoh and one of the 1-1 Galarian Weezing line here. It looks like Oliver must have mulliganed. So that's probably not bad prizes for Jeremy. He likely plays like more than a 2-2 line, I would assume. It might just be a 2-2 line, but you could still just like start the Coughing in Ascension or switch into it in Ascension. The energy switch might come up. The double Aurora energy. Oh, that's 4 energy total in the prize cards for Oliver. That might matter a lot. You do get a Galarian Moltres start, so it could always retreat basic dark energies off it and then repower itself back up, so that's pretty good. Also, the Hiding Darkness energy does... Is that the one that gives you less retreat cost? I think that does. I think it has free retreat now, so that's actually pretty good too. And Luminion start from Oliver is not ideal either. Although I think the Galarian Weezing might have 120 or less HP. So you might be able to just knock it out with the Luminion if you just hard attach for 2 turns. We do have a Coughing on the bench, and it looks like the The Radiant from Jeremy is actually the Hisuian Sneasler, which makes a lot of sense. I didn't really think about that. So the Hisuian Sneasler, I think its ability makes poison damage do more. I think by 2. I'm not 100% sure. But that's really good in combination with that Galarian Weezing. I didn't realize they were playing that, but that completely makes sense. You want to play a Radiant, and you have to play a Dark one, because you have to play only Dark Pokemon for Eternatus. So it looks like that might have been an Ultra Ball being played. Looks like we're going for the Crobat. That's going to draw a full 6 cards, so that's the perfect time you want to play Crobat. Yep, so we're going to draw 6 cards from Jeremy here. I'm pretty sure this and the previous regional that Jeremy played in, he was on his winning in on stream, right? Or no, maybe I'm thinking your Chip. I think Jeremy was on stream the last time he played. Usually he commentates, but it looks like he's just getting back into playing now. So we see the Quick Ball discarding the Archeops. Of course, that's what you want to be doing every single time. You always want to discard that Archeops. You don't want to leave that in your hand. You want that in your discard pile so you can Summoning Star with the Lugia V. And he's just prize checking as well. Hopefully he notices that he has 4 energy prize. 2 of them are color. I think it was 1 powerful, 1 capture, and then 2 Aurora, right? I know it was definitely 2 Aurora. And the other 2 were colorless. I'm pretty sure it was powerful and capture, but I'm not 100% sure on the capture. But yeah, looking through, pretty sure at this point you know what your prize cards are for the energies. Because again, in Lugia, you want to check your energy prize cards. It does search for the Lugia V. We're going to bench that this turn, I'm hoping. Not quite yet, though. We're going to use that Evo Incense first. We're going to likely get another Archeops. I didn't really see what else was in the hand, but hopefully there's another way to discard an Archeops. Maybe get 2 Lugia Vs in play. That way, if somehow by some miracle Jeremy's able to one-shot one of the Lugia Vs, you still have 1 to be able to Summoning Star with. Also important to note, because that Hiding Darkness energy gives the essentially free retreat to this Moltres, that Coffin can just get an energy on it next turn and Ascension into the Weezing. Looks like we have a Research, so that is an easy way to discard that Archeops. And we do see, it looks like 2 Quick Balls. So that is definitely a Lugia V. It's just, what do you want to discard? I think that's a Bird Keeper. It might have been Collapse Stadium in his hand. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, we see yet another Evo Incense. Getting yet another Archeops. So that's going to be 3 in the discard, I believe, now. So that is more than enough. You can only use 2. Might as well thin the rest out. Yep, so that Lugia comes down. So now even if Jeremy has a way to one-shot one of those Lugias, he still has another one to VStar into. And then Summoning Star with. We do have the... Yeah, I think that's a Collapse Stadium. There is a VStar in hand as well, so he is prepared for next turn to be able to Summoning Star out the double Archeops. We do see an Eternatus VMAX come down. That evolution on the bench there. Yeah, there is a Dark Energy in hand, so he can Ascension. I think that I personally would rather Ascension than Hard Evolving and then using Severe Poison, just because the damage on this Luminion is not going to matter whatsoever. because at some point it's likely just going to get shuffled back into the deck. So unless you just one-shot it, which is an easy one-shot with Eternatus, I would think. But yeah, looks like we're going to search out a Crobat with the Quick Ball. We still have an Ultra Ball. We can discard some other good stuff. Yeah, it looks like we're discarding another Eternatus and another Quick Ball. Oh, his Ultra Balls don't match. That bothers me. I always like it that all my cards match. I hate it when I have cards that don't look alike. Like my Regis, when I play Reggie, I have 2 Reverse Holo Gigas and 1 regular Holo Gigas. Because I always use TCG Player and just like have it sort, so it always gives me the cheapest version. And for some reason, when I bought 4 Gigas, I gave one of them away to one of my friends, but when I bought 4 Gigas, for some reason I got 2 Reverse Holos and 2 regular Holos. And why Reverse Holos would be cheaper than regular Holos, I'll never understand. So yeah, Crobat draws a whole bunch of cards. We do get the energy, so we can Ascension this turn, but it looks like we also already got the Weezing. So we already Heart Evolved. We're just gonna use that ability of the Moltres Retreat, and we can Severe Poison. Yeah, so yeah, if you draw into the Weezing, might as well Severe Poison. But if you didn't draw into the Weezing off of that Crobat, it would have been better to just Ascension. Looks like we're still considering playing cards. Oh, looks like there's the Forest Seal Stone as well, and he's going to use that now. Just puts that on the Crobat. That's actually pretty good. It is nice for these V-Max decks, that, or just regular V decks even, that don't have any VStar Pokemon. It's perfect to just play that Forest Seal Stone in your deck in order to just be able to quite easily use a V-Star power and just get a free search. That makes it great. It's essentially like playing 59 cards, but like you can guarantee a card. You know what I mean? And it looks like we see another Eternatus get benched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 Pokemon in play. Oh, okay. So I guess the Eternatus. I thought the Eternatus only worked when it was active. I guess I must be wrong about that. I've never played Eternatus. I wanted to play it. I didn't. So here we are. And because of the Hisuian Sneasler, Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, that is a mouthful. I also hate that they call it Hisuian Sneasler when it's just Sneasler. Sneasler is only Hisuian, so therefore you don't have to call it Hisuian Sneasler. It's not a Hisuian form of Sneasler. Sneasler is only in Hisui. But whatever. They do that with all the Alola Pokemon and stuff also. So we do see Quick Ball bringing out a Oranguru. We have the V-Star, so he can evolve. One of them has a Choice Belt, one of them has a Capture Energy, so I'm not quite sure what I would have. Oh, and he just chooses not to evolve. I guess his hand is dead, so might as well. So this is actually pretty big. That Weezing is going to be able to get the knockout going into Oliver's turn. It would be better if it was a knockout going into Jeremy's turn, but still, the fact that the Weezing just gets the knockout like that is pretty good. Your ability locking and taking a knockout on a 2-prizer? This might actually be Jeremy's game to win. You can just sit there the whole game just on the Weezing. So yeah, Lugia goes active. We don't really have any energy in play. We have no abilities. So this is what Eternatus wants to do to Lugia, but it rarely does. We just see Read the Wind, which I think is perfectly fine. It looks like we have a Serena in hand now, so we are able to just probably bring up something stupid like a Crobat or the regular Eternatus V that you can easily one-shot. Big Parasol comes down on the Eternatus V Max. I don't think that matters in this match. Oh, well, it does, because it stops the Evital. So actually, this is actually going very much in Jeremy's favor. I'm very surprised at how the Eternatus deck is performing in this particular game. Unfortunately, Jeremy does go for the Judge. The Read the Wind did give Oliver the exact cards he needed in that Serena. So it's going to be unfortunate. He's going to have to re-find that Serena off of this Judge and his next draw for turn in order to be able to play the game. He also loses access to that Lugia VStar, so he's going to have to, off of these 4 cards and draw for turn, so 5 total cards he's going to see. He's going to need to find Lugia VStar and Serena, and he at least finds a Research, and an Ultra Ball, so that's better than nothing. I think you might just want to hard attach the Aurora, though. I don't know if you want to... Yeah, I don't know. This is a weird situation. So he's got Evo Incense, so that's the perfect top deck there. He can get the Lugia V-Star, put that as his active Pokemon. That'll heal the poison so that he doesn't take damage going into Jeremy's turn. So that'll save him 60 damage. And then he'll play Research and hope to God that he draws into Serena or a boss. It looks like he might be eyeing up the Archeops instead. I think that's also fine. You can Archeops. And yeah, he's considering whether he wants to play the Echoing Horn or not. I mean, it's just an Eternatus. I think you can just go without it. He's got Moltres and 2 Crobats on his bench. Like, Echoing Horning that Eternatus back is just honestly bad for you, because that gives Jeremy the option of playing 3 Eternatus VMAXs, if there is that many in his deck. So yeah, I think you Evo Incense for the Archeops. You then Ultra Ball away the Echoing Horn Archeops for the Lugia V-Star. You evolve the active. And then you Research away the Aurora. Oh, he's gonna get rid of the Aurora energy. I mean, it doesn't really matter if he gets rid of the Aurora with the Ultra Ball, as long as he just doesn't play the Echoing Horn. You don't want to play the Echoing Horn. That just gives Eternatus more damage output and an additional Pokemon that can have too much dang HP. Yep, he's gonna do it. I disagree with that play. I mean, it might end up being fine, because what's the likelihood he's going to get 3 Eternatus VMAX into play? But if he does, then you have 2 Eternatus VMAXs that you can knock out with Evital, so... Although the one that has the big Parasol on it is fully charged up. And this deck does play Energy Switch. We saw one of the prize cards is Energy Switch, or at least it was in the last game. I don't remember if it was this game or last game. Also, important to note, Heart Gold, Soul Silver art. Heart Gold, Soul Silver arts are the best arts. Although the Sword and Scarlet and Violet ones might end up being better because they have silver borders finally. We have not had silver borders in forever. Looks like he used Read the Wind, and Jeremy is going to bench his Pokemon the way he should. The way I like to do it. Yeah, he just used Read the Wind. Yeah, I disagree with that. I think you evolve the active to heal that poison off. But instead he evolved the bench. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how he's gonna win this match. Or this game, rather. Eternatus is just too far ahead at this point. I mean, the frickin' Weezing's gonna take another knockout. Weezing already took 1 knockout. How is it taking another one? Like, stop. Come on now. Yeah, look at how beautiful that bench looks right now. We do see the Serena finally. That's going to bring up the easy 2 prizes on something that has the potential to attack and charge up additional energies. We're also going to put an energy back into deck. We finally evolved the active. It could have had 60 less damage on it, just FYI. Well, I guess it would be poisoned too, so I guess the math still comes out the same. So I guess at least in this situation now it's not poisoned. I don't know. I guess maybe it didn't matter either way. It's just a very unfortunate position that Oliver's in, and they're trying to dig themselves out of a hole. But we do have the 2 Archeops in play now. We are going to be charging up a Lugia. I'm wondering if we're going to go for the attack with the active one. Looks like we are. I don't know how I feel about that. You could have just put a double turbo on it and retreated it, and then gone in with the other Lugia, but I guess the bench is full for Eternatus, so you might as well let them try to knock out the one that's already damaged. Oh yeah, you can't even double turbo it anyway because the Temple of Sinnoh. Never mind. So yeah, so Jeremy's deck is actually working as intended this game. Oliver, for the love of God, discard the Temple of Sinnoh. Oliver, for the love of God, discard the Temple of Sinnoh. I think Oliver forgot this time. Yeah, they're trying to... Yeah, Jeremy's like, no, you didn't do it. And I completely agree with Jeremy. If you don't declare the discard of the stadium on the attack, you don't get it. Like, Jeremy already drew for turn. You can't say, oh, discard the stadium as well. So that's just really unfortunate for Oliver. He should have done it. I don't think it's going to matter, probably, because I think his next attack is going to be with a Lugia VStar as well. But, you know, it could matter. It makes it so he's not going to be able to attack with a Yveltal or a Charizard going into this next turn, because all his energies will be colorless, including the Aurora energies. So yeah, at this point, if you're Oliver, just scoop. Because, oh yeah, there's another Eternatus VMAX going down. Yeah, so what you want to do here is now you want to charge up the Yveltal and Boss or Serena up that Eternatus and take 3 prize cards. But you're not going to be able to do that because you forgot to discard the Temple of Sinnoh. I mean, you could always Lost Vacuum the active one as well. Now there's a judge call? Not quite sure why. You know, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Because Jeremy would have had to have done something wrong here, right? And I don't think he did. Yeah, he's just, Oliver's just putting it slightly cockeyed to say that it's already knocked out. Maybe they're just clarifying the fact that Oliver wanted to discard the Temple of Sinnoh, but it was too late to declare it, so. Yeah, I think not discarding that Temple of Sinnoh was pretty huge, because you don't get the buff off the powerful colorless. You're not going to be able to use any of your Auroras for anything other than colorless costs. And Jeremy's already down to 2 prize cards remaining. All he needs to win the game now is a Boss or a Serena. Bring up that Lugia and one-shot it. Yeah, I want to make sure I know what the damage output on that Eternatus VMAX is. So I'm pretty sure it's 30 times. He also does have one of the newer art of it, which is perfect. Yeah, 30 times your darkness Pokemon in play. So 3, 6, 12, 20, 240. He's doing 270 actually. Right? I'm not miscounting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 3 is 270. Yep. So now the Pumpkaboo comes into play, discards the Temple of Sinnoh. So I guess it doesn't really matter, but that Pumpkaboo could have been avoided being put on your bench, so. But I don't think that bench spot necessarily matters, because you get the Charizard down here off that capture. And that's all you really need in play right now. I mean, it would have been nice to get the Evital, though. Oh yeah, but Oliver prized double Aurora energy too, right? And I don't think we've seen at least one of them. So there is one in the prize cards at least still. Yeah, I think one of the ones that are in his hand right now were taken off the prizes, most likely. It looks like that's being put back in with the Rangaroo. Whatever that card was. Looks like the Aurora is still in there. We do have the boss's orders. You could potentially charge up some powerful colorless onto this Archeops and just knock out a Crobat. It's gonna go for the Eternatus. I think that's correct. Get rid of the Eternatus now while it's still not a VMAX. Because your prize map right now will be the Eternatus V and then one of the Crobats if Jeremy whiffs the boss. So you really need to like Marnie or something this turn though, but you had the boss, so it's rough. You just have to hope Jeremy doesn't have the boss himself. Or the Serena. I can't really tell what his hand looks like. I saw that there was like a patent that Pokemon put out where it's like some sort of like webcam thing where they can see everybody's hand, and it's like basically like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like with the holograms or whatever, except it just like all updates on screen. So you can see their hand or whatever. I think that's pretty stupid. I think it's a waste of money and resources and time. You can't even do stream right as it is, so why even try harder? If you can't do this right half the time, when it's literally just a camera and a table judge, how are you gonna do all of that digital stuff on top of that? Like the spectator mode in VGC never works, so I don't know. So that Eternatus goes down. Oliver goes down to 2 prize cards remaining, which has not been updated yet on the stream. And there's another judge call? What is going on? I don't think either of the players... Yeah, and it looks like the knockout was taken with the Radiant Charizard too. I forgot to mention that comes up. Attacks with the Heat Fire Energy. It does do 250. Was it a double attach? You have 2 Archeops in play. How do you double attach? I wasn't paying enough attention to that turn. I apologize. Yeah, so that'll be a double prize card penalty. Jeremy's showing that he had the boss anyway, it looks like. So Jeremy does win game 2. And we'll just have to see how game 3 plays out. Yeah, you gotta make sure that you don't make crucial game mistakes like that. You can't attach twice in a turn. I mean, you're playing double Archeops. Like, how do you attach twice in a... You don't even attach once half the time in Lugia. What the heck? Alright, we see 1 Eternatus, Zigzagoon, 1 Crobat, 1 Coughing. Not too bad. We do see 2 Ultra Ball and a Quick Ball from Oliver, so that could make a difference. But yeah, I don't think Jeremy's prizes are too bad. Looks like he starts Hisui and Sneasler. Looks like a 1 retreat cost on that, so that might not be too bad. We also do know that he does play switching cards, so... But yeah, we get the Oranguru start from Oliver, which is pretty rough. The Lugia deck doesn't generally play anything like Air Balloon or Switch, so you're going to have to use a double turbo to retreat that thing. Which could, in fact, potentially be an entire charge with a Archeops as well, so... Unless Jeremy's going to boss something up. They also only have 4 minutes left. Very important to note, and Oliver is still playing at the same pace that they have been. So, didn't scoop game 2 anywhere near early enough, as I keep saying, about all the sorts of people that are on stream so far. It was pretty clear that Jeremy was so far ahead that game 2 couldn't be won by Oliver. Especially with that, the fact that you made that misplay, not being able to discard the Temple of Sinnoh, almost bit him in the ass, and then the the double attach definitely lost them the game. But the real thing was just that Eternatus had the you'd prized double Aurora energy, and then the big parasol was on the Eternatus VMAX, so you couldn't just take the easy one shot that game. So we see a powerful energy come down on Lugia. Only one Lugia on the bench, but that is perfectly fine because you went first. You only need one Lugia in play. There's no way that Jeremy's going to get the ability lock going this early unless he Ascensions, but he's probably going to have to hard retreat this to Sneasler. So if he has Switch and Darkness Energy, he can Ascension, and that'll stop the Lugia VStar from going off. But I think this game is just guaranteed a tie at this point. I mean, again, just like the previous round, 2.5 minutes left going into game 3. What are you going to do? Like, it's just not possible. You can't finish a game in 2.5 minutes. Again, you got to start going by prize cards, Pokemon. I keep saying it. You got to go by prize cards for these tournaments. Ties are just so detrimental to the game right now. Because if they tie, they both go to 5-2-2. Neither of them makes it. So one of them would be able to make day 2. Whoever ends up being up on prizes. Probably Oliver, because he went first. But possibly Jeremy, because we see the Dark Energy and the Ascension. So if we get a switch card off of this Judge, I mean, that's perfect for Jeremy. I think it just should be whoever's up on prize cards when time is called. Don't even give the 3 turns anymore. I think that's fair. I would still like the 3 turns, but I don't think it's necessary. So just save all of that time and just go immediately into the next round. You'll make the tournaments run so much faster and smoother if you just don't have ties and you don't have to do the 3 turns of time. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Changed their rules too. I think they got rid of their 3 turns and they just do it on... You don't even finish the turn anymore. You finish the phase that you're in, and then whoever is up on life points. So if time's called and you're in battle phase, you just win. But yeah, I think it should either be finish the turn you're on when time is called, or just go by whoever's up on prizes when time is called. Then we can get rid of all of these people who keep trying to flip it to make day 2. You know what I mean? Because if these guys weren't on stream, one of them might be like, oh, do you want to just flip for it? And then they both get a double game loss. But yeah, looks like we see that Ascension. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so that we got the switch off of that Judge. Or we got the Crobat and the Forest Seal Stone into the switch. However that ended up working out while I was rambling. So yeah, we do see Quick Ball being able to get rid of the Archeops, but unfortunately for Oliver, this is not a good position again. So yeah, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Eternatus is better than I'm giving it credit for, but... I mean, it's basically winning off the back of not being able to remove Weezing from the active. Like, the Eternatus itself didn't win Jeremy that previous game. It was all off the back of the Weezing. The Weezing took one knockout on a 2-prizer and then softened up another one. You can't one-shot a a Lugia VStar without a choice belt or a Zigzagoon ping. So it looks like we see Quick Ball discarding Judge, or no, sorry, Boss's Orders. It looks like time was called, so Jeremy's shaking his head. He's like, man, this is rough, this sucks. I was gonna win this game if I only had 25 more minutes. And here again, if Jeremy was able to finish this turn in time and take one knockout, he would win with my rules. So, I mean, they might still tie right here, but I mean, I guess ties would still exist, but or you could go by whoever takes the first prize. And if you're even on prizes, you could still tie. That would just reduce the ties would still be a thing, but they would be severely reduced in likelihood. And then you could still ID and stuff too. I think that would be the most fair way to do it. Yeah, so if you're even on prizes when time is called, then you should just tie. But no, you have to finish the game, and neither of them will be able to finish the game and take all 6 prize cards or knockouts on every single Pokemon that are in play. So Oliver's just like, yeah, it's a tie. And Jeremy's just like, you can tell he wants his opponent to concede to him. Yeah, he was like hesitating signing the slip for a second. I think he was just like trying to wait for his opponent to be like, yeah, you can have the win so you can make day 2. A little sketch there, but anyways, yeah, looks like the winning and tied. What's new in Pokemon? I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and all of that good stuff that the YouTube algorithm loves. Oh, Jeremy scooped. Oh. Jeremy scooped to give his opponent day 2. Alright, good on Jeremy. It wasn't sketch. He was just telling his opponent that he'll give him the win. Never mind. I take back what I said. Good guy, Jeremy. Especially since he's playing Eternatus and it's not deserved. I'm sorry. That's rude. But yeah, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. Feed that YouTube algorithm. Make sure that if you see me at an event, I got the Ninja Nick VStar markers out now. So make sure you grab those for me. And I will see you guys next time when we get into day 2. I'm going to go to sleep because it's 3 a.m. right now.